The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, and duck, spices, wine, and ale, honey for the desserts, cheeses, and perhaps even a swine or a peacock. I'm realizing right now that I'm hungry because this all sounds awesome. Lavishly, loose, no, enough or too frugal. So we have lavish, spend enough, and spend little. I'm charitable and I'm gregarious. So let's go lavish. This is going to be one hell of a feast. You got to think a guy named the Hammer would throw one hell of a party, though. That reminds me, another small digression. That reminds me of a recent visit I had with my dad, who's, he was born in 52, so in 2016 he is 64. He's actually 63. His birthday's in October. At the time of this recording, he's 63. Anyway, he's lived a long, full, adventurous life. He has. Blue-collar worker his whole life, but a skilled one. And lots of travel throughout the country and outdoorsman type stuff, camping and hiking and backpacking and float trips and all this kind of stuff, canoeing and that stuff. He's a very, well, at least he was when he was younger. He doesn't do it so much anymore, but very avid spelunker. He lives and has lived in Missouri his whole life. And Missouri is a state full of caves, thanks in large part to the Ozarks being mostly in Missouri. The rivers and hills are a great combination for cave formation. So anyway, because he lives near them, he's always explored caves, and he took us caving, myself and my brothers caving when we were kids. And he and his buddies would go out and map caves on the weekends. They'd go look for new caves, and they'd ask permission to be on somebody's property, and they'd be looking for caves and map them out, and then submit them to I don't know who would keep track of such things. Geological Survey, or maybe there was a Middle Mississippi Valley Grotto, MMVG? MMVORG? I forget what the OR stands for, but MMVORG, I think, is the initials that stand out in my memory. But anyway, it's an organization of cavers who keep records on caves and who's going where and who's mapped what and how many miles they've mapped and where. And it's quite an involved community, cavers. But anyway, where was I going with this? Why was I talking about my father? Oh, right. So that was the caving thing was just an example of how he has a long and varied experience of life. Lots of different things that he's done in his life. And one of them was that he spent about 6 months in Wyoming when he was in his 20s, young 20s, like college age, I think. He spent about 6 months in Wyoming working for a logging company. He did survey, and he would be one of the guys who would go out and survey in the woods where they would put the logging roads. So he and his colleagues would go out in the woods, do survey, and then tell the logging company, yeah, build the road here, here, and here, based on what they surveyed. I don't think they actually built a road. They just cut down trees and drive a truck through. Very slapdash. Not slapdash, but not... When they do logging roads, like if you're ever walking through I don't know where you guys are, so I don't know what your experience is, but I grew up in Missouri, and walking through the woods in Missouri, it's very not very common, but if you're in the right place, it's common to suddenly find yourself on an overgrown 2-track road. You're walking through the woods, you're walking up and down hills, you're walking along ridges, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, what the hell? Like, you can recognize it doesn't look like a road, it doesn't look like anything anybody would drive on, but suddenly you're in a spot where the trees are really short or very young, and you see 2 ruts, running side by side, and you're like, this is an old logging road. I think it was during like the 1950s that the U.S. government released a lot of the Ozarks for logging. I don't know if the U.S. government had the power to do that, or maybe I don't know. I don't know the politics behind it. But anyway, the southern Missouri, where I spent a lot of my time, was logged in the night. I'm getting way off topic here. I'm sorry, guys. This is turning into a rant. Anyway, southern Missouri was logged in the night, mostly in the 1950s. So when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, the tree growth that had been logged in areas that had been logged was, only 40, 35 years old, which is, plenty old, but it was noticeably younger than areas that hadn't been logged. So walking through the woods, sometimes you'd come across these areas where they had obviously had logging roads. That's another digression from the digression I had earlier, which is my father was out in Wyoming surveying logging roads for logging companies in Wyoming. And so he would be out, I think they did like 10 days straight of 8 or 10 hours, and then they'd have 4 days off or 5 days off or something like that. And so, of course, they lived way out in the middle of nowhere. The logging company would basically house them. And then on their their weekends off, which were like 4 or 5 day weekends, they'd all go into town, whatever the nearest town was. I don't even know. I'm sure it wasn't large, whatever it was. And all the money that they'd earn, they'd basically just drink it all. And so, anyway, so my dad was visiting with me recently, about a year ago, and he laid some advice on me. He was telling me stories about being out in Wyoming, which is interesting to hear. And he laid some advice on me that I thought was just like the most perfect life advice ever. What he said was, he was talking about how they would go, they'd go into town on their time off and go to the same tavern, and they got to know the locals because the locals were always there. It was one of the only taverns in town. So they'd always be drinking with these locals, and they got to know them on a first-name basis, and they'd play darts or play pool or whatever it was that was, around the tavern to play. And so there was one old guy there who looked like he had lived an interesting life too. Imagine like a salty dog in a seaport or something like that. That's kind of what this guy sounded like. And he apparently challenged my dad and his friends to a drinking contest one night. And I said, "Oh, how did that go?" And my dad kind of like looked at the ceiling for a minute, like oh God, kind of expression on his face. And he said, all he said was, "Don't ever try to outdrink a guy named Cactus." The dude's name was Cactus. And apparently he drunk my father and his friends under the table, it's just I don't know. He said the words, "Don't ever try to outdrink a guy named Cactus," and I lost it. I was laughing for like 10 minutes. That's the most perfect life advice. You could meet a complete stranger from anywhere in the world, and if they understood what cactus meant, and you told them don't try to outdrink a person named Cactus, they would instantly understand what you meant. Like, yes, you're right. A guy named Cactus, never try to outdrink that guy. You will lose. It was just the quintessential advice you could give anybody in the world, I think. All right, so that 20-minute tirade was a complete digression from the game here. But I am, like I said, drinking wine, and I'm a bit chatty, apparently. Right. Most of the preparations for the feast have now been made. Now I only have to send out the invitations. Whew. Well, all that talking got me a little bit parched. I need to drink some more wine. Yeah. Not to boast about my father or anything. He's a father. He's nothing special compared to other fathers, I'm sure. But he does have some very interesting stories. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome, everyone, to my feast. Just in time for the new year. Mayor Yaman. Who the hell is this guy? Ah, the Marshal of Rhodes. He's a low-born Catholic Turk, huh? Well, being the Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire, we must welcome all kinds, I imagine. Except that he... Oh my god, I didn't read the rest. Except that he cut the throat of one of my servants when the clumsy man spilled wine over his garb. Jesus Christ, is that how the Turks do things? He did the right thing. Ain't no way in hell I would think he did the right thing. I'm charitable, though. No, I'm just. The man must go to prison. You dipshit. Who? Even if you were drunk off your ass, anybody who's not a psychopath would not kill a servant for spilling wine on them. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied. It's going on in real life, too. No, I've only had one glass of wine. Though I did have a shot of rye before I started recording, so perhaps that's what's got me talking. Other guests excused themselves and went to bed, but we kept talking until the wee hours. You know what? Hearing that description, I love parties like that. That's great. When you have a friend and you guys just sit and talk and talk and talk over beer or wine or anything. It's nice. Especially when it's an old friend you've known for a while. This guy is somebody new, obviously, that we're talking about, but sitting and drinking one-on-one in your apartment or your house with an old friend and staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning talking is a lot of fun. Mayor Fulcard. Mayor Fulcard? Isn't he one of the guys in my... He's in my... Is he in my plot? Is he in my plot? No, that's a different Fulcard. Fulcard, Spymaster of Marsan. Well, okay, fine. I haven't ever met a more fascinating person. We're now friends. Where do you live? Brixie. Whoa. Oh, you're not... you're just down the road from me. Well, fantastic, Fulcard. I am happy to be your friend. I've not ever met a more fascinating person. I have a friend. Yay. Oh, who's my rival? What? Gleb Yurievich. How have I never even heard of this guy? Is this from when my first wife was... Right? She was like... She wasn't... I want to say back when I was... God. Oh, my lover's my wife. Good. It threw me for a loop there for a second. Back when I was Kaiser Vigoric, wasn't Dietrich in somewhere over here? Is that when I developed a rivalry with this guy? I was living there with my first wife, but maybe I'm thinking of a different character. I don't know. Is it you? Where are you? You're in my court, right? No, not your court, my court. Gebhard is in my court, sort of. He's in prison as my wife. Oh, God, my mother. Oh, my God, that is possibly the most Freudian mistake I could have made. My mother. Jesus Christ, my mother. Oh, should I try to wed my mother? She's lonely, I'm sure. She's only 59. I should try to wed my mother. That would be very nice. And she should be wed to somebody powerful. Apparently, the only option I have is a count. Ooh, Prince of France isn't exactly powerful, but then he does sound powerful. No, Prince of France. No. Needs to be married to a German. She's Russian. Maybe it was Vigoric that was over here somewhere. So then why the fuck do I have a rival there? Unless I was raised in part over there? I don't remember. Well, I love my mother. I'm sure not in the Freudian way that I mentioned earlier. Oh, God. I could wed her to 11-year-old Schottenwein. Oh, this game. I know that's allowed because it's allowed. Because that's what they could possibly do in real life. That's terrible, though. No, not the Prince of France. He's 72. He's can't get it up at his age. Eckbert, Count of Pilsen, will keep her satisfied, I hope. Rotislava would gain 47 prestige from marrying into House von Sauringen and negative 200 from marrying a count. Well, he would say yes. So, yeah. My mother will be happy, hopefully. Steward Zakoi noticed Bishop Zavis had drunk too much wine and tried to dissuade him to drink any more when Bishop Zavis threw up on Zakoi's shoes. Zakoi is my steward? Oh, my poor eunuch steward got puked on. What a foul smell. Yes, I imagine I'd be disgusted by that man for a couple of years. The more wine Mayor Aznar drank, the more and louder he talked and laughed until he let out a loud snoring and fell face first into his plate. The servants discreetly removed Mayor Aznar from the table and took him to a bedchamber. That's disgusting as well. What is with my vassals? They're all pigs. I accept your suggestion that Kaiser and Rodoslava and Count Ekbert get married. Good. My mother is wed. The last of the guests has returned home, and everyone agreed it was this year's greatest feast. I had great fun, and so did everyone else. I gained 10 prestige, and Evtap A72110 tooltip. Holding a large feast will be removed from Kaiser Dietrich the Hammer. I don't think that was supposed to be there. Perhaps the patch is imperfect. God, all that time when we're only in 1376. We've played 1 year. I think I've been playing for like 45 minutes. We've played 1 year. Defensive Pact, led by the King of Lithuania, has disbanded. Good. It was all that talk about my father and Cactus that kept this play session so slow. We'll never get to the end of this LP at this rate. I'll be playing this in 2018 at this point. Hasn't helped that I skip weeks here and there when I haven't been able to record. Basileus Meletios the Cruel has usurped the title barony of Nin from Julian de Nin. Where were you? Where's the barony of Nin? I don't even know where that is. Where's the barony of Nin, you punk? In Deodora? Well, it's your territory technically, so okay. Oh, I need to check. Oof. Are you at war still? Yes. God, you'll be at war forever at this rate. My son Ferdinand has a tender and loving soul, trusting everyone in the castle. I fear he will get hurt one day, someday. Trusting. I don't have anything that would influence trusting, perhaps, other than gregarious. Is that really charitable? Perhaps influences trusting, because I trust that people aren't taking advantage of me when I'm being charitable. Those who love get love in return. Show everyone how virtuous he is. Well, I'm not proud. I don't think I do that. Thank God for Ferdinand's virtues. I'm not zealous. Tender soul, I'll give him a tender back. I'm not cruel. So I think this makes the most sense. Those who love get love in return. Prince Ferdinand gains 1 diplomacy, gains the trait kind, and his opinion of me increases. He's already got kind, which is -2 to intrigue, +2 to diplomacy, and some vassal boosts. Alright, he'll gain another one because I said that was cool. What's this? Another commander. Whoa! What happened? Oh my god! Okay, hang on. Point another commander. Ah! Svatopluk, Duke of Savoy. Svatopluk von Zupplingenberg. What kind of name is Svatopluk? That is not a German name. Not at all. Alright, what the hell's going on here? Padishah Batuhan the Holy. The Ilkhanate is declaring war on me. Okay, hang on. Let's educate this child first. Who is this? My niece. Oh, Gebhardt's daughter. Gebhardt's only child, apparently. No. Yes, she has no siblings. Vigoric? No, not Vigoric. Whoops. What? What just happened? Something just went wrong here. Hang on. You, I guess? I don't know. Nobody gets it. We don't get a benefit there, so fine. Whatever. To the squint-eyed bookworm Dietrich, may your humors rot in your living body. This is a formal declaration of war. Our armies shall meet on the field of battle. Okay, here we go. This is something. Good thing I didn't spend any money, because now I've got enough to heave an army at this dude. Well, 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 look at this. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Yes, they are the Ilkhanate. They are everywhere. Well, afraid there's nothing for it. We'll have to surround everyone with everything we've got. Raise the levies. Raise all the levies. My retinue is ready. Somewhere down here. Right here. Yes, check it out. Everything in my directly held territory has full morale upon being called up, whereas nobody else does. I wonder what bonus gives me that ability. I did not see when that happened. Surely we could raise some mercenary. No, holy orders, right? This is a holy war, is it not? Oh god, they're going for Jerusalem. Oh fuck. It didn't say anything about Jerusalem. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, that's appropriate, I think, yeah. Fuck, that's not appropriate. Oh god, why are they, what? Why does Ilkhanate care about Jerusalem at all? Shitballs, okay. That throws a wrench in things, doesn't it? Here I was thinking like, hey, defend Turkey, defend Hungary and Poland, and you're good. Like, just put your armies here and crush everybody that marches in. But no, they're going for Jerusalem for some reason. Sucks. Alright. Fleets. Apparently I have a personal fleet. Where would I have a personal fleet from, though? I don't know. Okay, raise the vassal fleets. We'll send a whole bunch home, but raise them nonetheless. Just selects armies, right? This is gonna be a fucking mess. Okay. Mecklenburg is where everybody's meeting up. You hear me? Actually, you guys can embark. To Mecklenburg. God damn, this is going to be a huge production. You guys don't have to go to Mecklenburg because that's a step in the wrong direction. But you should all meet up, let's say there. And then you guys go there. You guys embark. Everyone, including my armies, go there. Ay. Wait, where are you guys going? You don't need to go there. Come here. Where are you guys going? Forget. You're going to Friesland. You guys are going to Friesland. Oh, fuck. These boats too? What the hell am I gonna do with you guys? Go to Friesland. Go to Mecklenburg. It's gonna take you a year and a day to get there. You're the freaking Hungarian army. Does it even make sense to them? Maybe I should just send you down here. I'm not pleased about this war, not one bit. In fact, all of you guys, to Istria. We're gonna need some boats in Istria then. Okay, you guys sail for Istria. You guys sail for Istria. Should I just pack everybody into Istria? Is he going to send these guys into Greece? And is he going to send these guys? Where is he sending these guys? They don't look like they're coming into Hungary. I'm going to take a chance and say that he's actually concentrating on Jerusalem. Even though, if he conquers holdings in my other territories, that will count towards his war score. This is crappy. Well, you know what? It's going to take me a while to march where I need to march anyway. I bet if I detect that, oh, he's sending guys into Hungary or Poland, I can always just call some armies off. They won't all be on the boats by that point, you know. You guys all march to Istria. We're just going to all be in Istria. 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 Let's do one more. You guys march there to Salerno, and these boats can sail to Salerno. No. Sail to Istria. Sail to Istria. Sail to Salerno. Salerno. Istria. Istria. Salerno, you sail to Salerno. I think that's everybody. I think everybody's moving now. Oh, I got the Greek army to worry about. Yeah, I'm going to embark you too. Why don't you guys try to get here as quick as you can, because you guys can go home. Because this army's going to need some help. Let's march you to Jerusalem. Good, good central area, Jerusalem. Should be able to see maybe what they're doing. This is going to be a mess. If the Ilkhanate takes over Jerusalem, I'm going to be pissed. Losing it to the Muslims would be like, that sucks, but okay. If I lose it to the Ilkhanate, though, man. Alright, let's slow it down one. Since we're in war. Bishop Landolf is no longer court chaplain. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but Ernst, Bishop of Toul. And why don't you... Oh, right. What's our status with our bishops? Bishops universally love us. Great. That's awesome. Why don't you research cultural tech in Lorraine? Very good, very good, very good. Okay, I'm not going to spend anything on improvements because I'm going to have a giant freaking army marching around. I need my treasury as stacked as possible. What's going on here? Still marching away. What's going on down here? Marching away. Very good. Okay, he's apparently tangling with Sur. Ah! The Greeks have arrived. That's good. Duke Alois the Monk has usurped the title County of Grisons from Count Pandolfo of Ostfriesland. Fine. Another commander to appoint. Yes, the Duke of Francona. Weren't you already a commander? What the hell happened? Don't know. Okay, you guys march there. We'll form one giant army.